Legend of Songkran New Year. According to legends recorded at Phra Chetufan Wyman Mankalaram Pagoda, in the past, there was an extremely rich man who lived in a splendid mansion, but they had no children. Next to the rich man's house is the house of a drunkard. This drunkard has 2 children with skin as bright as gold. One day that man came to the rich man's door and cursed. The rich man asked him, "What right does a person like you have to curse me with those vulgar words?" The other guy pointed straight at him and said, "You have so much wealth, but no one to inherit it. When you die, that property will be as good as nothing because there is no one to inherit it. I have it. With 2 such beautiful sons, I am better than you." The rich man felt ashamed. He was determined not to let his family become extinct. He went to worship the sun god and the moon god for 3 years, but to no avail. One summer day, we often call it Maha Songkran, everyone celebrates the new year together. They took rice, washed it in water 7 times and offered it to the god tree and organized a joyful singing and dancing orchestra. The rich man also came to perform the ceremony and the tree god heard his wish. The tree god came to ask for a child for that man. Not long after, the rich man also had a son. They named him Dhamma Kuman. They specially built him a castle under the canopy of a magical tree on the riverbank. At the age of 8, Dhamma Kuman was very intelligent. He memorized all 4 sets of Buddhist scriptures and had the strange ability to understand bird sounds. God knew that everyone respected him for his intelligence, so he came to challenge him with 3 riddles. Where is greatness in the morning? Where is greatness in the afternoon? Where is greatness in the evening? And the price the loser of the 3 puzzles must pay is losing his or her head. Dhamma Kuman accepted, but he asked for 7 days to think. Dhamma Kuman racked his brain for 6 days without a solution. He was tired and afraid he would lose his life. He lay thinking under a palm tree next to the castle. On the tree were 2 hawks talking to each other. The female asked, "Where should we go looking for food tomorrow?" The male answered, "Tomorrow there is no need to hunt because it is the deadline for Brahma's challenge. If Dhamma Kuman cannot answer, he will be beheaded. We will eat human flesh." Dhamma Kuman heard it. He followed the 2 birds. The female asked again, "Don't you know the answer?" The male replied, "Hey, in the morning the greatness lies on the face because people use water to wash their faces. In the afternoon the greatness lies on the body maybe because people use water to bathe, and at night greatness lies in the feet because people use water to wash their feet." The next day, Lord Brahma came to find him and Dhamma Kuman answered according to what the hawk had said. God Brahma gave in, but before cutting off his head, he called his 7 daughters, who were Indra's concubines, and warned, "If my head falls to the ground, it will burn the whole world. If it flies into the sky, it will cause drought. Han, you guys take my head." The god cut off one of his heads, and at first the whole world was hot when it fell. The eldest fairy Thungsa used a tray to catch the head and then gave it to god Banzat to take around Tuda mountain, then placed it in Kanthuli cave in Kralay mountain and performed an offering ceremony. Then god Vishnu turned into a box made of 7 types of glass and gave it to 7 fairies to wash with water in Anadard Lake 7 times and then used it to store Brahma's head for everyone to see. Every year on Songkran, a fairy will carry the head of the 3-faced god in a parade and then put it back in its original place. and this task is performed alternately by the god's 7 children. Thungsa wears a red dress and flowers. Pomegranate, wearing rubies, holding a serrated disc in her right hand, holding a seashell in her left hand, riding a golden bird. Miss Corica wears a yellow dress, pin flower, wears pearls, holds a sword in her right hand, holds a stick in her left hand, rides a tiger. Ms. Ricassos wears a pink dress, wears a lotus flower, wears a chenxidon stone, holds a trident in her right hand, holds a bow and arrow in her left hand, rides a pig. Ms. Muntha wears a green dress, wears a porcelain flower, wears an opal, holds a rod in her right hand. Iron, holding a stick in her left hand, riding a donkey. Miss Kirini wears a green banana dress, wears a muntha flower, wears an emerald, holds a hammer in her right hand and knocks on an elephant's head, her left hand holds a gun, rides an elephant. Miss Kimitha wears a white dress with green flowers, wears a lotus flower with many pistils, wears topaz, holds a sword in her right hand, holds a lute in her left hand, rides a buffalo. Ms. Mahothorn wears a black dress, wears a sawau flower, wears jade, holds a serrated disc in her right hand, and holds a nail in her left hand. 3. Riding a giant. Every year, a fairy will carry god Brahma's head around, so the weather in Songkran is also hotter. Since then, people have held a water-throwing ceremony to cool them down, as well as to remind them of the great things of the day. The festival also includes a ritual of bathing the Buddha to bless them. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.